There are 9 generations in my family, all of them male. So as soon as I was born, my grandfather, who was lying in the ICU, took out the oxygen tube and sat up. My mother started piercing my ears and wearing gold locks in the delivery room. My father set up a foundation that day to spend money specifically for me. 9 cousins lined up to see me, almost filling the hospital corridor. But the one who dotes on me the most is my brother. He said that in this life, I am his only weakness. So he feeds me when I eat, coaxes me when I sleep, and leads me when I walk. Until that day, he brought a woman home. While my brother was answering the phone, she knelt down and pinched my chin. Just you? The little devil who clings to my boyfriend every day. I haven't had time to call my brother yet. A slap fell on my face. But I'm only 3 years old. Chapter 1. My name is Shun Yin Yin. This name was given by my grandfather, saying that the whole family had been waiting for 9 generations for a girl, and if they kept thinking about her, there would be a response. My family is very rich. How rich can you be? On my 3rd birthday, my father booked the entire aquarium just so I could play with the dolphins for a while. But I don't really care about that. All I care about is my brother. My brother Shun Yancy is 26 years old and the youngest vice president of the Shun Group. People outside said he was cold, cruel, and hard-hearted. But he tells me bedtime stories every night. When I fell asleep, he would tuck in the corners of the quilt and kiss my forehead before leaving. I think the best person in the world is my brother. Until that day. It was the weekend, and my brother was rarely at home. He said to me, "Nian Nian, my brother has a friend who wants to come to the house to sit down." I nodded. Okay, Nian Nian, be good. I thought they were just ordinary friends. I was drawing on the living room carpet when the doorbell rang. A woman came in. Tall and thin, wearing stiletto heels, heavy makeup, and lips as red as the brightest one in my watercolor pencil box. When she saw me, a strange light flashed to her eyes. It's not the kind of tenderness that adults treat children with. It's that feeling of staring. The elder brother introduced, "Nian Nian, this is Sister Fong Rui." I put down the brush and shouted in a sweet voice, "Hello, sister." Fong Rui curled up the corners of his mouth but said nothing. Then my brother's phone rang. He picked up the phone and said to me, "Nian Nian, wait for my brother. He will go to the study and make a phone call, and he'll be back." I nodded obediently. Fong Rui and I were the only ones left in the living room. It was quiet for a few seconds. She walked over step by step with high heels and squatted in front of me. I looked up at her, thinking she was going to compliment me on my beautiful paintings. But she reached out and grabbed my chin. The nails were so long and pointed that they hurt my jaw. "Just you." Her voice was very low. "The green tea that pesters my boyfriend every day?" I blinked, not understanding. "What are you pretending to be?" She pinched her nails harder. "Do you think you can pretend to be a child with 2 buns on your hair and a princess dress? It has been said on the internet that there is no little princess in the Shin family, just an internet celebrity who gets rich." My mouth dropped and I wanted to cry. "Sister, it hurts." Her eyes were full of disgust. "Stop doing this with me." Then, a slap on the left side of my face. I was slapped onto the carpet. My ears were ringing, my face was burning, and tears were pouring out. I opened my mouth to call my brother, but she knelt down again and covered my mouth. "Why are you crying?" She lowered her voice. "I'm telling you, get out of this house if you are wise. Shun Yancy is mine. Why do you, an outsider, live here and enjoy the good things?" I shook my head vigorously, tears covering my face. "I'm not an outsider. I am my brother's biological sister." But I couldn't speak. She held her hand so tightly that I could hardly breathe. I kicked my legs as hard as I could. His feet reached the building block tower next to him. With a crash, the blocks scattered all over the floor. Fong Rui let go, stood up, straightened his hair, and returned to his elegant look. She looked down at me. "Remember, next time I see you pestering Shun Yancy, it won't just be a slap." Then she turned around and sat on the sofa, crossed her legs, took out her phone, and started scrolling. I curled up on the carpet and cried quietly. My face hurt so much. I want to call me brother, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid she'll hit me again. The red light of the surveillance camera on the roof of the living room flashed. Chapter 2. I don't know how long I cried. When my brother came back, I had curled up into a ball and nestled in the corner of the sofa. Tears were wiped and shed, wiped and shed. I used my painting hand to wipe the tears from my face and smeared the watercolor paint all over my face. "Nian Nian?" My brother's voice came from the door. He took long steps and walked up to me in a few steps. "What's wrong? Who bullied you?" His voice was still gentle, but I could hear something beneath it. I dare not speak. Fong Rui sat on the sofa on the other side and said with a smile, "It's nothing. The kid fell down." She started crying just as I was trying to help her. The brother didn't look at her. He knelt down and helped me sit up. When his hand touched the left side of my face, I winced suddenly. Hiss. I gasped in pain. My brother's movements paused. He gently pushed aside my paint-covered hair and saw the left side of my face. Redness and swelling. 5 fingerprints clear. The air in the entire living room suddenly became cold. Brother didn't move, just squatted and stared for 3 seconds. Then he turned his head. Look at Fong Rui. I've never seen that look before. Not angry. It's the kind of river that freezes over in winter, quiet and dead. Fong Rui. He called her name, his voice flat. How do you explain the slap marks on her face? Fong Rui put down the phone, was stunned for a moment, and then smiled. What do you mean? Your sister dropped it by herself and hit the corner of the coffee table. It's not like I didn't see it. Such a small child can't walk unsteadily. The coffee table has rounded corners. Her brother interrupted her. Do you want to think about it again? Fong Rui's expression changed for a moment, and then he smiled again. Yancy, you don't really believe a 3-year-old child, do you? Children are the best at pretending. She was very cruel to me when you were not around, and even hit me with building blocks. Nyen Nyen. My brother looked down at me. His voice was extremely gentle. Brother asks you, who beat you? Tell him, he won't let anyone bully you. I looked up at him. He glanced at Fong Rui again. Fong Rui was smiling at me with the corners of his mouth curled up, but his eyes were full of warning. I winced. Nyen Nyen don't say anything. Nyen Nyen is good. My voice trembled, and my little hands clenched the hem of my skirt. My brother closed his eyes. He stood up. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. The housekeeper, Uncle Zhao, trotted over from the end of the corridor. Young master. Adjust monitoring. Living room. From the time I entered the study to now. The smile on Fong Rui's face finally broke. What do you mean? Adjust surveillance? Shinyansi, are you concerned? Because of one dash. Shut up. My brother didn't raise his voice. But after those 2 words fell, no one in the whole living room dared to say anything. Fong Rui's mouth opened and closed again. Uncle Zhao quickly brought the tablet over. The surveillance screen was brought up. In the screen, Fong Rui walked over. Squat down. Hold my chin. Raise your hand. A slap in the face. 3-year-old me collapsed on the carpet. She covered my mouth. There is no sound in the picture, but the movements are clear. Uncle Zhao's hand holding the tablet was shaking. My brother stood there and didn't move. I peeked at him from the corner of the sofa. His fingers tightened one by one. Knuckles turned white. The jawline is so stretched that it can cut through the air. About 10 seconds passed. He turned to look at Fong Rui. When I recalled that look when I grew up, I realized that it was murderous intent. Fong Rui, you hit a 3-year-old. My biological sister. The only girl in the 9th generation of the Shin family. Fong Rui panicked. She was really panicked. The blood on his face receded little by little. I didn't know she was really only 3 years old. What I said on the internet dash. It was said on the internet. Brother repeated and smiled. That smile was scarier than crying. So after reading a few posts from marketing accounts, you dare to hit my sister, Shen Yancy. That's enough for you. We're done. Fong Rui stood up suddenly. You broke up with me because of her? Shen Yancy, please understand, I am your girlfriend. She just dash. She's my sister. My brother bent down and picked me up. I huddled in his arms like a frightened kitten and buried my face in his neck. His hand patted my back gently. The voice was coaxing when she said to me, don't be afraid, brother is here. His voice was cold when he turned to Fong Rui. Uncle Zhao, see you off. Inform the front desk that Fong Rui is not allowed to set foot in any of the Shin family's properties in the future. Fong Rui screamed, you can't do this to me, Shen Yancy. My brother carried me upstairs. There was no looking back. Fong Rui shouted at the top of his lungs from behind. I covered my ears and huddled on my brother's shoulders. But I heard her last words. You will regret it. I will let everyone know what kind of virtue the Shin family is. A 3-year-old child can make you Shen Yancy disown all his relatives. My brother's footsteps paused. Then keep going up. Uncle Zhao. Exist. Notify the legal department. Prepare a lawyer's letter. Infringement of reputation, personal injury, intimidation of minors. Don't miss a thing. Chapter 3. I didn't sleep well that night. My brother kept holding me and applying ice packs to my face. The swelling has gone down a bit, but there are still marks. I drifted off to sleep and woke up again, and every time I woke up, my brother was there. He sat by my bed, his phone screen on, but his eyes kept looking at me. Early the next morning. I'm not fully awake yet. There was a loud noise downstairs. A woman is crying. A man was yelling. There was also the sound of something falling to the ground. I was frightened and woke up. I sat up and was about to cry. Brother walked in from the door. Don't be afraid. Nyen Nyen. Brother is here. Who's making noise down there? I rubbed my eyes. My brother knelt down and helped me put on my shoes. It's okay. It's Fong Rui's mother who's here. You don't have to go down. Brother will take care of it. Fong Rui's mother? Before I could react, the voice of the woman downstairs penetrated the entire floor. What does the Shun family mean? Isn't it just a quarrel between young lovers? You sent a lawyer's letter to my house? You also want to freeze our company's account? Is this how you, the Shun family, bully others? Then came Dad's voice. Low and steady, but every word carries pressure. Mrs. Fong, I suggest you watch the surveillance video. After watching it, if you still think it's a little couple getting into trouble, we'll see you in court. It was quiet for about a minute. Then Fong Rui's mother's voice changed. This is... Yes. Dad's voice didn't waver at all. Your daughter touched my 3-year-old daughter. She slapped her in the face and covered her mouth to prevent her from shouting. Mrs. Fong, in my entire life, Shen Bei Yuan, no one has dared to touch a hair of my daughter. It was completely quiet downstairs. My brother picked me up and said, Nian Nian, be good. My brother will take you to have breakfast. We won't listen to this. I nodded and buried my face in his shoulder. When I passed the corner of the stairs, I secretly glanced down. In the living room, Dad was sitting in the main seat. His suit was neatly straightened, the teacup in front of him was steaming, and he didn't take a sip. His mother sat next to him, her makeup exquisite, but her lips pursed into a thin line. Fong Rui's mother stood opposite the coffee table, her face gray, and her legs seemed to be shaking. Fong Rui stood behind her mother. Her arrogance from yesterday was gone. She lowered her head and hunched her shoulders. Mom saw me. She stood up and her voice was not loud, but everyone in the living room could hear. Nian Nian, come and let Mom see her face. My brother put me down. I ran to my mother in small steps. My mother knelt down and saw the red mark on my left cheek that had not completely disappeared. She touched it lightly with her fingers. I shivered and said, "It hurts." Mom's eyes turned red, but she didn't cry. She stood up and turned around, staring at Fong Rui. 3 years old. Mom's voice was unusually calm. 100 centimeters, 26 pounds. You, an adult, slapped a 3-year-old child in the face. You still have the nerve to stand in my living room? Fong Rui's head lowered. Her mother pulled her. Apologize quickly. Kneel down and apologize. Fong Rui bit his lip and bent his knees. No. Dad spoke. Kneeling is useless. He picked up a document on the coffee table and pushed it towards Fong Rui and his daughter. The 3 cooperation projects between Fong's building materials and Shen's have all been terminated from today. I will report the actual situation to the relevant departments for approval of your land in Dongcheng. As for the loan you received from Dingxing Bank Dash. No. Fong Rui's mother's face turned completely pale. Mr. Shen is not like a child who doesn't remember anything. I remember. Dad picked up the teacup and blew lightly. I, Shen Bei Yuan, hold a grudge. Fong Rui suddenly raised his head and looked at my brother with red eyes. Shen Yanxi, are you just watching your father treat my family like this? We have been good friends for 2 years, and you. My brother put a hand on my shoulder. Looked at Fong Rui. No angir, no hesitation. Just one sentence. You shouldn't touch her. Chapter 4. The day Fong Rui and his daughter were sent away. Fong Rui's legs were weak, and she was supported by her mother. Before going out, she looked back once, with hatred, reluctance, and regret in her eyes. But most of them don't believe it. She probably won't believe it until her death. The price of the slap would be the collapse of her entire family. But she didn't want to think about it. The girl she hit was the girl the Shin family had longed for 9 generations. After seeing them off, my mother held me in her arms and never let go. Does it hurt, Nian Nian? Tell Mom. Is there anything else that doesn't feel right? I shook my head. It doesn't hurt anymore. My brother applied ice on me last night. Mom's tears finally fell. She hugged me tightly, resting her chin on top of my head, and her shoulders shook. Mom didn't protect you well. Mom shouldn't be on a business trip. Mom should be at home. I stretched out my little hand and patted my mother's back. Mom, don't cry. Nian Nian is a big child now. Dad sat next to me and said nothing. But I saw his hands on his knees clenched into fists, his knuckles turning white. After a while, he took out his cell phone. Made a phone call. Old Shun, check the environmental impact assessment report of the land in Dongqing again, item by item, leaving no dead ends. Hang up. Another call was made. Fong's loan from Dingxing requires them to submit the latest financial audit this week. If they fail to submit it, the contract will be enforced. Hangs up again. Another call was made. Inform the director of the group's legal department to come home at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Bring the template for criminal prosecution. I don't quite understand, but I know Dad is doing something important. And those things were all related to the sister who beat me. Mom wiped her tears and said in a hoarse voice, Bei Yuan, I've also informed my brother. Dad nodded. It should be. What did my brother-in-law say? He's at the airport. Mom pursed her lips. He said that Nian Nian is the granddaughter of the Gu family, so it's okay to hit the daughter of the Shin family. Touching the granddaughter of the Gu family, his original words were, let that woman named Fong know what it means to be unworthy every day. I blinked. Mom, is Uncle angry? Mom touched my hair. Uncle is very angry. Don't you know your uncle's temper? I know. The last time my uncle came to visit me at home, he brought me a whole dollhouse. The kind that's 3 stories high. He said that his Nian Nian must have whatever he wanted. Even if it was the moon, he had to find a way to get it. Now someone hit him Nian Nian. I don't know what will happen to sister Fong Rui, but I always feel that her life will probably not be easy in the future. My brother was silent for a long time. Suddenly, he came over and squatted in front of me. Nian Nian, look at my brother. I looked at him obediently. From now on, no matter who or where you are, as long as someone lays a finger on you, you will call me brother. You can shout as loudly as you want. But, I said in a small voice. She said she wouldn't let me shout. Brother's eyes instantly turned red. The veins on his temples popped out, then he pressed them down again. Nyen nyen. No one in this world is qualified to stop you from calling me brother. He reached out and touched my uninjured right cheek. If you shout, brother will always come. My tears welled up again, and I threw myself into his arms. Brother, Nyen Nyen is afraid. Don't be afraid anymore. He hugged me tightly and rested his chin on top of my head. From today on, no one can make you afraid anymore. Chapter 5. Things should have ended here. If the Fong family admits defeat, the Shin family will stop. At most, it will be a business deal, and everyone will be able to live up to their expectations. But Fong Rui didn't think so. She refused. The third day, a post popped up online. The title is, "The Vice President of Shun Group uses power for personal gain and uses commercial means to retaliate against his ex-girlfriend's family." There is everything in the post. A photo of Fong Rui and my brother. Screenshot of the notification that Fong's company was loaned out. Official document of project termination. There is also a video she recorded herself. In the video, Fong Rui cried so hard that his makeup was all gone. I just accidentally touched his sister, and he wanted to destroy my whole family. How could I really hit a 3-year-old child? She threw it herself. Shen Yanxi framed me to get rid of me. The comment section exploded instantly. A chaebol is a chaebol, and if they break up, they will lose everything? It's so scary. Who dares to fall in love with a man like this? Do you believe what a child says? What does a 3-year-old know? I don't understand what public opinion is. But I know my brother laughed when he saw those comments. When he smiles, it's pretty, but not scary. Well, no. It's the kind of smile that's both beautiful and scary. Has she forgotten about the surveillance? My brother leaned back in his chair and pointed at the armrest. Uncle Zhao stood nearby. Master, do you want to let the public relations department handle it? No need. My brother picked up the phone and said, I'll do it myself. Half an hour later, Shan Yanxi posted an update on his personal social account. There are no words. There is only one video. Full surveillance video of the living room. 4 minutes and 37 seconds. Fong Rui came over. Squat down. Pinch your chin. Slap. Cover your mouth. The 3-year-old me was knocked to the ground. My limbs kicked around, and I struggled desperately. The entire network was silent for 3 seconds. Then the comment section seemed to open up. Here I go. That's a 3-year-old baby? An adult slaps a 3-year-old child? What kind of character is this? I said earlier that Shen Yanxi was taking revenge. Take a look at this video. Wouldn't you take action if it were my place? It's over. It's over. Fong Rui's life is over. Hot searches are uploaded at the speed of light. Article 1. The Shin family's daughter was beaten and exposed on surveillance. Article 2. Video of Fong Rui beating a 3-year-old girl. Article 3. Shun Yan resigned to protect his sister. The post that Fong Rui sent is still there. But the comment section has been flooded with abuse. Her Weibo account lost 300,000 followers in half an hour. The endorsed brand issued a termination statement overnight. She had participated in a love variety show before, and the show team urgently announced that they were severing the relationship. Fong Rui sent 3 messages in succession in an attempt to explain. Article 1. The video has been edited. Comment. That was complete surveillance at someone's home, and the time code was not interrupted for even a second. Article 2. I thought she wasn't really 3 years old. The internet said she was an internet celebrity. Comment. Even if she is 23 years old, you can't hit her, right? Besides, she is really only 3 years old. Do you have eyes? She didn't have time to post the third one, because her account was blocked. The reason is spreading false information and spreading rumors and slander. Fong Rui completely lost this round. But it's not over yet. Because my grandpa doesn't know about this yet. Chapter 6. Grandpa found out on the 4th day. How do you know? He watches short videos every day. An 80-year-old man could sit there with a tablet and spend an entire afternoon doing it. Mainly look at 2 types of content, fishing tutorials and Nyen Nyen's growth records. He was a hot search topic that day. The nanny said that the old man was watering the flowers in the yard at that time. After watching the video, the shower head fell to the ground. I poured water all over my trousers without even noticing. Then the nanny heard him roar. The voice was full of energy, not like someone who had been in the ICU. Come here, prepare a car, go to the boss's house. The driver didn't dare to ask any more questions and just stepped on the accelerator and drove to my house. I was eating strawberries when Grandpa came in. My brother peeled them off and fed them to me one by one. Nyen Nyen, Grandpa's angry voice came from the door. I turned to look over. Grandpa rushed over in big strides. He didn't know where the crutch he usually used was thrown away. He picked me up from the chair. I was almost 27 pounds, and the old man was stunned and lifted me up with all his strength. Show Grandpa your face. The marks on my face have almost faded away, leaving only a faint pink color. But when Grandpa saw that little bit of pink, his lips trembled. My chin trembled. Even my hands were shaking. Who? He hugged me and turned to look at Dad. Who did this? Dad, we are already processing Dash. I asked you who did it. Grandpa has always had a bad temper. When he built the Shun family's business from scratch, he was never a soft-hearted person. He became much gentler after his retirement, making Nyen Nyen happy every day, fishing and raising flowers. But that thing in his heart has not changed. Dad told me the whole story. The more Grandpa listened, the more silent he became. Silent to the end, his face turned blue. Fong family, he put me down, Fong Jangwo. Dad, do you know him? I don't know him. Grandpa waved his hand. Now I know him. His daughter beat my granddaughter. He sat on the sofa and took the tea from Uncle Zhao. Didn't drink it, just put it on the table. Inkstone. Grandfather. You handled it too lightly. The elder brother said nothing. Grandpa looked at me, his eyes red. 9 generations. Our Shin family has been waiting for 9 generations. Your great-grandfather said before he died that the biggest regret in his life was not being able to have a granddaughter. Your grandfather has been waiting for 60 years. On the day Nyen Nyen was born, I woke up from the ICU and said that God finally opened my eyes. She was 3 years old. Grandpa's voice started to tremble. She was 3 years old, and she was still unsteady on the road. An adult slapped her Dash. He couldn't speak anymore. He rubbed his eyes vigorously with the back of his hand. After a while, he spoke. Boss. Yes. Dad stood up straight. The Fong family can't just take out a loan. She touched the lifeblood of the Shen family. Say hello in the circle. From now on, whenever anyone in the city does business with the Fong family, they will not give the Shen family face. Dad nodded. My brother also nodded. My mother hugged me and said softly, Nyen Nyen, don't be afraid. Grandpa just feels sorry for you. I hugged my mother's neck and looked at Grandpa. Grandpa's hands are still shaking, but his back straightened again. He was not an 80-year-old man at that moment. He is the Dinghai Shenzhen of the Shin family. And Fong Rue. They probably don't know yet, but the really scary person hasn't taken action yet. Chapter 7. The Fong family lasted a week. A week later, Fong Jangwo came to the door in person. He came on his knees. No exaggeration, really kneeling. Kneel down from the front door to the door of the living room. The security guard refused to let him in, so he knelt outside. It was winter, and I was kneeling on the bluestone floor without even wearing a coat. Kneel for 4 hours. When Uncle Zhao came to ask for instructions, Grandpa was teaching me how to play backgammon. Old master, Fong Jangwo has been kneeling outside the door for 4 hours. Do you want to let him in? Grandpa dropped a chess piece. Have you kneeled enough? It looks like I can't hold it any longer. Then let him come in on his knees. When Fong Jangwo entered the living room on his knees, his pants were frayed at the knees. The fleshy skin inside rubbed against the floor tiles, leaving streaks of blood. He is in his 40s, and his temples have turned white. Mr. Shin, he kowtowed as soon as he entered the door. It's my fault that my goddaughter is incompetent. It's my fault that I didn't take care of that evil. Grandpa didn't look up and continued to play chess with me. Nyen Nyen, where do you put this one? I pointed to a location. So smart. Grandpa smiled and touched my head. Fong Jangwo knelt there, with cold sweat on his forehead. Mr. Shin, please show your respect. The livelihood of more than 100 people in the Fong family depends on it. My daughter. Fong Jangwo. Grandpa finally looked up. Your daughter slapped my granddaughter. I know. I've slapped her 20 times. She did it by herself. Both sides of her face are swollen like steamed buns. It's no use. Grandpa stood up, slowly walked to Fong Jangwo. He looked down at the man kneeling on the ground and spoke softly. Do you think the 20 slaps you slapped her can equal the 1 slap she slapped my granddaughter? Fong Jangwo choked. Fong Jangwo, do you know that Nyen Nyen had a nightmare last night? She suddenly screamed in the middle of the night, saying that someone was beating her. A 3-year-old child had a nightmare. I did have nightmares. In the dream, Sister Fong Rue's hand kept slapping my face. I can't hide no matter what. When I woke up, my brother hugged me, and the back of my pajamas was completely wet. Fong Jangwo's head hit the ground with a thud. Mr. Shin, I will apologize to the little princess. Our whole family will apologize to the little princess. You can tell us how much compensation we will make. Am I short of money? Grandpa smiled. Fong Jangwo, how much do you earn per year? Fong Jangwo didn't dare to answer. How much does my Shin family do in a year? Fong Jangwo still didn't dare to answer. Why didn't your daughter think about the cost when she slapped her down? Do you think a 3-year-old child is easy to bully? Do you think the Shin family won't fall out over a little girl? Grandpa bent down and moved closer. Let me tell you, 9 generations of the Shin family have been waiting for this girl. Touching her would be more serious than touching me. Fong Jangwo's forehead hit the ground, and he didn't dare to lift it up. His shoulders were shaking violently. Get lost. Grandpa straightened up. Your daughter will disappear from the city in 3 days. I don't want to see her anywhere again. Is she still here in 3 days? Grandpa didn't finish. But Fong Jangwo nodded like crazy. Let's go now, let's go today. He couldn't even stand up straight with his knees, so he crawled to move out. There was a trail of blood behind him. Uncle Zhao quickly asked someone to mop the floor. Grandpa came back and sat next to me again. Come on, Nian Nian, let's continue playing chess. It's your turn. I looked at the chessboard. He looked at Grandpa again. Grandfather. That uncle is so pitiful. Grandpa smiled and hugged me over. Nian Nian, please remember one sentence. What? Poor people, most of them have hateful daughters. I seem to understand, but I don't seem to understand. But I know that no one will hit me again in the future. Chapter 8. Feng Rui left. It is said that he left overnight. A plane ticket flew out, and no one knew where it went. The Feng family's business has shrunk visibly. One by one, partners divest. Bank calls for loans. The supplier is out of stock. There is a saying circulating in the circle. If the Feng family touches the Shin family, whoever associates with the Feng family in the future will have trouble with the Shin family. No one wants to be in trouble with the entire Shin family. Feng Jiangwo aged 10 years overnight. The last time he appeared in the public eye was an industrial and commercial announcement that he sold off the company's assets to pay off debts. Half a year later, the Feng family's company was canceled. I don't know these details. All I know is that security at home was tightened after that. There were 4 bodyguards on the way out. There are 2 more patrols at home. There are 3 cameras installed in my room, the angles chosen by my brother himself, covering every corner. The kindergarten has also been changed. The previous aristocratic kindergarten was replaced by an educational institution invested by the Shin family themselves. The background check for each teacher before taking the job is more stringent than being a spy. Mom asked if this was too exaggerated. Dad said it was not an exaggeration, but it was not enough for him. My brother said he was going to put a GPS locator in my school bag. Finally, I said it myself. Nian Nian doesn't need a locator. Nian Nian won't get lost. My brother looked at me with complicated eyes. Okay, then Nian Nian promises brother, if you are scared, you will call me brother. Okay, Nian Nian agrees. The days slowly returned to normal. I continued to draw, continued to eat strawberries, and continued to let my brother pierce my hair. But sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night, I still remember the pain of that slap. But as soon as I opened my eyes, I could see the lights on in my brother's room. The night light in the corridor is warm yellow and always on. That's what he left for me. He said he would keep it every day from now on. Whenever Nian Nian gets scared, she knows her brother is there when she sees the light. I learned one thing when I was 3 years old. There are bad people in this world. But there are also many, many people protecting me. So much so that bad guys won't even get a chance to touch me a second time. Chapter 9. This happened 2 months ago. One day I was playing with blocks in the living room, and a piece of news suddenly came on the TV. Former internet celebrity Feng Rui released an apology video on social platforms, publicly apologizing for the previous beating of the youngest daughter of the founding family of the Shin Group. Feng Rui lost a lot of weight in the picture. There was no makeup on her face, her eye sockets were sunken, and her hair was not as fluffy and bright as before. She sits in front of a white wall, facing the camera. I apologize for my behavior 2 months ago. At that time, I did something unforgivable to a 3-year-old girl because I listened to internet rumors. I am not qualified to defend myself. I just want to say I'm sorry to that little girl and to everyone in the Shin family. I'm in therapy. Hopefully one day I can truly become a better person. The video is only 45 seconds long. The comment section was divided into 2 groups. One group said forget it, and she apologized. The other group says that there is no point in apologizing to someone who spanked a 3-year-old child. I watched it for a few seconds and lost interest. Because that sister can never hit me again. However, my brother had a calm expression when he saw the news. He changed the channel and tuned to the animation channel. What do you want to see? Look at Piggy. Good. He put the remote control down, and I climbed on his lap to sit. He put one hand around my waist and helped me peel the apple with the other hand. Shaped into the shape of a rabbit. Brother is so awesome. I took the apple rabbit and took a bite. Of course. Brother is great at everything. Yeah, he said softly, as long as it's for Nian Nian. I looked up at him. Will my brother ever have a girlfriend again? He looked down at me. Before you get a girlfriend in the future, let Nian Nian review it first. Only if Nian Nian agrees. Real? Real. Then what is Nian Nian's standard? The standard is dash. I took a bite of the apple and thought about it seriously. You can't hit me. My brother smiled. The real kind of smile, with crooked eyes, no ice, no murderous intent, only gentleness. Okay, don't hit Nian Nian. This is the first iron rule. I nodded with satisfaction and continued to nibble on my apple bunny. The sun is just right outside the window. The little pig is singing on the TV. My brother's arm is very stable and warm. I thought deeply. 3 years old. Have the best family in the world. No one can bully me. Chapter 10. What happened later was something I gradually learned about when I grew up. The Feng family completely withdrew from the city's business district. Feng Jiangwo moved to a small city in the south with his wife and daughter, opened a hardware store, and never appeared in any commercial situation again. Fong Rui's apology video was requested by the Shin family's legal department as a condition of criminal settlement. If she doesn't send it, what awaits her is a criminal prosecution for intentional injury to a minor. She chose to apologize. The source of the rumor that the little princess of the Shin family is an internet celebrity has also been found out. It was made up by one of Fong Rui's best friends to please her. That best friend was later detained by the police for 15 days for spreading rumors and slander. As for those marketing accounts that initially spoke for Fong Rui online and scolded the Shin family for bullying others, the public relations department of Shin Group spent a week complaining and suing one by one. 37 accounts were banned. 12 bloggers were held legally responsible. The total compensation amount can buy a suite in the second ring road. I don't know any of this. What I know is, when he was 3.5 years old, my grandfather's health completely recovered. He drives to the kindergarten to pick me up every day and is more punctual than the bodyguard. When I was 4 years old, my uncle sent me a set of painting materials from abroad. They are all professional grade, and I can't use them at all that high end. But my uncle said that Nyin Nyin should use the best. When I was 5 years old, my brother did indeed get a new girlfriend. Let me review it before bringing it back. As soon as the sister entered the door, she squatted down and took out a hand-stitched stuffed rabbit from her bag. Hello, Nyin Nyin. I am your sister Chiao. I made this myself and gave it to you. I looked at her. The eyes are very clean and there are dimples when smiling. The most important thing is, the look in her eyes at me was soft. The kind of soft person who really likes children. I took the rabbit and turned around and gave my brother a thumbs up. Pass. My brother smiled. Sister Chiao also laughed. Later, Sister Chiao became my sister-in-law. The way she braids my hair is even better than my brother's. Later, I grew up. On my 18th birthday, the whole family sat together. Grandpa is already 95 and still in good spirits. He picked up the wine glass and looked at me and said, Nyen Nyen, the Shin family has been waiting for you for 9 generations. You deserve all the good things in the world. My eyes were red. He stood up and hugged each other. Grandpa, Mom and Dad, uncles, brothers, and sisters-in-law. When I finally hugged my brother, he patted me on the back. Just like when I was 3 years old. Don't cry if you miss me. Brother is here. That night, I returned to my room. The night light in the hallway was still on. Warm yellow light, bright from 3 years old to 18 years old. It has not been extinguished for a day. Full text ends.